Hello, my country people then. Question. Who is a bushfaller? Today, na the 5th of March 2022, countryman, it don't come live for Tori with Huna and Asnafisiam. Now, the topic of discussion today that we will just Tori about bushfalling. We will just Tori we. Now, so we do today. I not really get amber destruction agenda today. So, as we join una mash fire, una share and make it go far and wide, my country people them. As we join una mash fire, share and make it go far and wide. Thank you una plenty. Copy the link, share for WhatsApp as well. So this live broadcast, it be impromptu. MKPD is live. Today na number 5 day for March 2022. So this one, I'll give some small advice based on my own personal experiences. Advice to bushfallers, as we call ourselves. So who be bushfaller in the first place? I would talk about that. And then why I even can make this presentation briefly now, because I don't get this information, say a lot, or at least a few, of Cameroonians or bushfallers them where they are in the diaspora. When they come Cameroon, a few of them, they no return, or they be poisoned. So when they die, they lose their life due to jealousy, due to their own transgressions against other people them, and all those things them. So now what I just can't say make we talk, make we tori. So we get Emma Bote. It's a Igwe, we get bad man pass. On a bad man pass. It's a please share. That is correct. We na share as we na join. Today we just tori win. I'll give Wuna some small advice based on my own personal experiences. As we know, countryman, I travel quite a lot. So I get 1 or 2 tips them way. Maybe it could benefit 1 or 2 people then. So we share the knowledge. Share and make it go far and wide. Thank you for plenty my country them. So before we march fire, we go for before. We go play for Wuna the Kum anthem, and then we go play the Cameroon national anthem.
Hail, hail the Kumkumasa, we the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror, and your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.
Thank you plenty my country people them. As I don't already talk, today now number 5 day for March 2022. So the topic of discussion today now bushfallers or bushfalling. So we will talk about that, and then we will talk about my own personal experiences and 1 or 2 things, and then we will talk about 1 or 2 advices and for people the way they want to travel. But before I go into that, I want to ask all when they watch me today, I want to ask now this one question. When I leave answer in the comment section, my country people then. The question is, if you been one of the people the way you there inside Cameroon right now, tell me where you want to travel to, if you want for fall bush as they call them, and then also leave them in the comment section why. So Wusa you want to travel to and why you want to travel to that particular destination. Right. So as Nafisiam, in the past decade or so, or maybe a decade and a half, Cameroonians, they get these parlance where they talk, say, bushfalling. And people like myself, we don't travel abroad more than 2 decades ago. Me personally, I be feel insulted when some person be call me bushfaller. Time I travel because I did Cameroon at the very minimum once a year. You know, una know countryman very well. I be there for Cameroon just literally how many months ago? About 4 or 5 months ago. I'm there for Cameroon, and I'd make this live broadcast right now. So for Yaoundé, I'm there for Yaoundé right now as I speak. My country. So I enjoy Cameroon. I love Cameroon. I'm always in Cameroon. I did Cameroon a lot. And as a matter of fact, my show now, just how much I love Cameroon. Eh? Now some small Cameroonian is this for una no know. Now chukuchuku beep that. Oh yes, now chukuchuku beep that. And cocoa, okay? Chukuchuku beep. That is what I eat. That's what I love, okay? I go for some, I can't remember where I went. Some person asked me if it try to impress me because he see me as I talk, they talk say that one a bushfaller or whatever. In desperate attempts to try for impress me, it tell me say they serve burgers and whatnot. I want die laugh. He said they serve burgers to some restaurant for Yaoundé and pizzas. I tell you say I go for New York, California. I go for Florida, London. I don't eat that nonsense burgers. You think say I go can't chop burger now for Yaoundé? What you do now? Are you mad? Say what's that cocoa go, eh? And better gari and okra and bush meat. Na chukuchuku beef that na yeah they can't sample them now, so I don't make una small longer. So when I leave for comment section, when I want for fall bush, all my one come up run out of Cameroon. Where do you want to go to and why? Okay. So now for continue, people that don't as I travel can Cameroon a lot. You get family members and other people they be concerned for my safety. They tell me, say, countryman, you know, when you go Cameroon, you get to be very careful. I don't hear a lot of people that they poison each other for Cameroon. Bushfallers, they go Cameroon, they need to come back, they fall ill because of poisoning. Someone they die and blah blah blah, all those things. And they say, countryman, be very careful. Honestly, I understand why the Cameroonians them inside Cameroon now they get this hatred for the Cameroonians what they did for diaspora. If you want to see that hatred in manifestation, just look at Ambazuna terrorism. It will explain it for you. Oh, okay, sorry, my computer. I have no idea what just happened, but my internet connection it be disconnect. It don't come back. Fantastic. Might disconnect a few devices. I don't disconnect a few devices from the internet so for make it be a little bit faster, so that hopefully we will get high definition video feed. So a lot of Cameroonians, the way they go for diaspora, when they reach for diaspora, they give a negative image back of the Cameroonians and what they did for Cameroon, or they give a negative image of Cameroon itself. And then if you look at the Ambazonian terrorism, how it manifests, now basically they are Cameroon, the diaspora way, they are due to their own personal failures in life, they decide to destroy the country where they just leave them behind. So it don't create some kind of tension between the actual Cameroonians for Cameroon and the Cameroonians where they did for diaspora. And one of the reasons that when I bear with me, my country people, the internet it misbehave for some reason. Now why that way it be disconnect again for a few seconds. Now bear with me, countryman they come. I want for make sure that the internet be a little bit more stable. Hopefully, wait, I don't just do them now, it go help. Okay. Okay. I have no idea, my computer, why the internet it misbehave. I actually get a really good connection. I have no idea, but I don't move the device where I will use I'm closer to the window for try and get better network. So yes, we match fire my contribution. So as I will talk, the Cameroonians them where they in the diaspora, they get this issue with the Cameroonians where they on the ground inside Cameroon because they get this friction, and then a lot of Cameroonians them, for whatever reason, they feel like not just Cameroon, it happened for Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and other countries where they even be poorer than Cameroon. They get this feeling, say the only way where they feel succeed now for fall bush as they call them. So one of the reasons why we me and not be first even on and not be understanding where to be the when they talk say falling bush or whatever, what does it mean? So anyways, as when I join when I match fire for the share my contribute them, so we'll get a man in Zenu Day here. It's a hate diasporans, especially Anglophone diasporans. I totally understand that, and I know. And then Manga Bear, it's a chai MKP to make job no fine. So we'll get we'll get Amber Justice Day here as well. We'll get 10 Kobo. It's 10 Kobo says share as you join. Yes, now match fire for the share. Okay, thank you for playing to my computer. So I get internet connection issues, but I hope say it don't resolve itself. And when I feel hear me fine, even if you hear me when I type and send them for comment section, say when I feel hear me fine, so that I make match fire continue. And then also I will ask a question, say for when I want for travel abroad. The question I ask now say where do you want to travel to and why? Why you want to travel out of Cameroon and where do you want to travel to? When I leave it for comment section, I want to understand one or two things about how they function for Cameroon. So now, obviously, before you travel out of Cameroon, you need a visa. You need permission for travel. If you want to go whether for Italy, Germany, Dubai, South Africa, you want to travel anywhere, you need a visa. Visa is just another word for permission. In order to attend the visa, you need to apply for the visa and you need to pay fees for the visa. And if you apply, you pay the fees, the visa, it not be successful, they not go refund your fees, okay? And then after you apply for the visa, they give you the visa, you then get to pay for your flight and then you fly. On the day, looking at the situation, especially now where we're in the coronavirus pandemic, before you travel, the most important thing, obviously, you need a passport in order to travel. And now the only internationally required vaccination that way you need them before you travel. Now yellow fever vaccination card that. Now my own yellow fever vaccination card that, okay? You need a passport and you need your yellow fever vaccination. Now, yellow fever vaccination will be required by every country in the world. It will be required by the International World Health Organization, I should say. In almost every country where I don't go to, and I'm talking about 6 different islands in the Caribbean, about 8 different countries in Europe, I don't go to other places that will not bear with me. No. Sorry about that, my contributor. Now my doorbell that will not be here, so some person inquire about something. So as I will talk, you get it on all the countries where I don't ever travel to. They never ever ask me for my yellow fever vaccination. Now only Cameroon did they ask for yellow fever vaccination. Why? Because I personally believe say now a way for the people then for the port authorities then for Douala, Yaoundé and the airport, seaports and whatever, for tip your money, because yes, it be required, but every single person in the world already get them, or at least you must get them. So they ask them, no other country on the surface of this earth, they don't ever ask me for my yellow fever vaccination. But make sure say you always get your yellow fever vaccination. Because one day if they ask them, you don't get them, that's when you want to say you start pay 200,000-300,000 francs for corner road or for Wusa way, first know. So make sure you have it. Now, on the day where you get to travel, make sure say you check your passport, make sure say you get a valid visa, and then make sure say you check your passport again before you leave the airport. I mean before you leave your house to go to the airport, because I don't actually know people the way they reach for airport only for discover say this, so their passport is not there with them. and then you miss your flight. And then before you leave your house, for heaven's sake, Africans, una buy a scale. Una know that thing where you stand on top or weigh yourself, or where you weigh your bags. Buy a scale for your house. Now only 15,000 francs, 12,000 francs. As I come from Cameroon here, the very first thing for my house in UK, I get scale from my bathroom. I weigh myself every single day. If you wake up me at any time, any moment in time, you ask me, say, how much do you weigh? I could tell you to 1 or 2 decimal points, because I weigh myself every single day. I know my weight. Okay? Now, part of your health, this thing, you have to check your health. Make sure that you be healthy enough. So, buy a scale. Africans, especially Africans, we are the over-embarrassed person, we are the over-disgrace ourselves. Every time I go for airport, I see one embarrassment to the other, where Africans embarrass themselves. This particular one for weight, okay? There is a particular reason why airlines, they will tell you, say, you get a weight limit, okay? The weight limit of 23 kilograms is there for a reason. One of the reasons, I say, the person where they work for the airport, for the lift your bag, them lift and put them on the conveyor belt and all of those things, then it get insurance where the company for the airport, it don't insure you. So when it lift your bag and it be heavier than that 23 kilograms, it broke it back, they go pay millions of francs because of your excess weight where you put on for that bag. And if any bag it be above 23 kilograms, it must be labeled as heavy goods. So it no go use it, no go try to lift them with its own bag. It go use lifting equipment for lift them. So airlines, for example, Turkish Airlines or Swiss Air, Brussels or Air France or whatever, they don't tell you, say, you go get 2 pieces of luggage where they be 23 kilograms each. You will also get 1 piece of luggage for carry them on to the aircraft, where it could be, I think, between 8 and 12 kilograms. Some airlines, they give you 8 kilograms. Some airlines, they give you up to 12 kilograms. Check with your airlines before you travel. And also, a person like me, I don't travel a lot. Before I even leave my house for go for airport, 24 hours before your flight, you fit check in online. You check in online, and then when you get to the airport, you just process your bags, and then you print your boarding pass, and then you go. It's easy. So when you actually check in, you fit check in at the front desk at the airport, or you check in online. Whether you check in online or you check in at the front desk, make sure, say, if you like a window seat, select the window seat. Ask the person, say, I want to sit by the window. Okay? Or if you like an aisle seat, if you like seat where you get leg room, for example, if you be pregnant and you need a seat where you get leg room, or you carry pikin and you need for seat where it go get leg room where you fit sit and stretch and sit comfortably with the pikin or whatever, request for that particular type of seat. So people that like me, where I go woke up for 2 a.m. for check-in online, for select my seat. So when I finally get on the aircraft, like it happened for me last week when I traveled to Cameroon, only for find out, say, some Cameroonian family, they don't come pack themselves on my seat. They think that I'm Amumes and boss will go for Bafusamo Navuzai. It can't show you on my seat. Now I reach for that. I tell you, say, can you please move? This is my seat. Because I don't specifically request that seat, window seat. Then it will start to tell me, say, no, go, I fish on somewhere else. I tell you, say, get your black ass off of my seat. I lost my patience. I check in, I pay for my flight, and I reserve that specific seat. If you know reserve your own seat, that is your problem. No be my own. So when I make sure, say, you reserve the seat where you want for Shidon on top. And then when you get on the aircraft, look for the seat where they write them on your boarding pass. Also, no throw away your boarding pass. Now another thing this way I experience them only in Cameroon. So it is, so as we exit the aircraft, because our aircraft it land for Douala and then for offload some passengers them, and then it bring on some other passengers, about 50 or so passengers, and then they take off from Douala again for land from Simalen for Yaoundé. And the passengers, the way they bring them on from Douala, they land from Simalen for Yaoundé. So the time we'll come off for Yaoundé in Simalen now, we'll get to go do a LFT, lateral flow, COVID test before they allow we for exit the airport. That way we want to go do the LFT. For whatever reason, the airport staff, they ask for your boarding pass. And then some picking the way they will jump on the aircraft for Douala, they talk, say they don't know, say they go ask for their boarding pass, so they don't throw them. No ever throw away your receipt, no ever throw away any piece of information where they give you for a reason. Keep hold of it until your journey don't finish. 2-3 days after the end of your journey, if you still do not need that piece of paper, and then throw it, put it in the bin. But if they give you any piece of paper, whether it's your boarding pass or your hygiene kit or anything where they give you. For example, I just give you that. This is one example. This one now a card where they give me for film for when I arrive for Antigua and Barbuda, when an island in the Caribbean, immigration and customs form. Okay, you fill it in. Okay, you give one form, one the top one goes to them, the original, and the copy goes with you. Keep it. Keep all of this information until maybe 1 week serve. After you know for the fact that you don't need them, then you fit away them. Okay, so keep all those pieces of paper where they give you. And another thing I say, Cameroon, it be amongst one of many countries the way they require you for do a coronavirus test, PCR test, before you board an aircraft for Cameroon. The airline company, whether it's Air France or SN Brussels or Turkish Airlines, where you board, for example, aboard the aircraft now from London. So when you approach the desk for London for even check-in, they go ask for see your PCR test. If you don't get them, you are not boarding the aircraft. Simple. Because now regulation where Cameroon is require them. Now Cameroonian regulations, they need you to be negative of coronavirus before you even board the aircraft. Now, so when I live in the United Kingdom, where when I do the NHS PCR test, it is not valid. It's not accepted by any airlines at all. You get to do now the PCR test where they go give you a certificate where they go certify you for fly, where they call them say fit to fly certificate. Where it means you go book them appointment for go do the PCR test, and they go take your names, your date of birth, and your address. You turn up for the PCR testing center with your passport, so that they go make sure say the sample where they take them from your nostrils and from your mouth now actually you, because they go verify your face and your picture, your identification with your passport, then stamp all that information for that sample. That sample will go for their laboratory, then they will do the test, and then they will send your result via email to your email address within 24 hours before you proceed to the airport. By the time you reach for airport, you should have the PCR test. And you pay for it. Me, I pay £80 for do mine for UK before I fly out to Cameroon. £80 is equivalent of about 67,000 francs just for the PCR test. So when you plan your journey, consider all these costs. Travel costs, they will go up. PCR and other requirements, then because of medical, it will go up. Okay? Plan about those things then. Before you take a flight, before you plan your journey, before you book the flight, plan about those things and so you could book flights. And if you arrive at that country, say for example for Cameroon, and you test a positive for coronavirus, they need for quarantine you in a hotel, which you will be paying. Some hotels which will cost about 50,000-60,000 francs a night, which you have to pay out of your own pocket. And for 10 days, so you're looking at about 500,000-600,000 francs extra on top of your travel expenses then. So now one of the things in this way, you got to be aware of. So now, as I talk, weigh your bag before you come out for house. When the airlines company talks, say you be entitled to 2 pieces of 23 kilograms each. It means say, when they put the bag on the scale, if it be anything above 24 kilograms, that bag is not going through. Even if you want for cheap small massa, when I put maybe 23 and a half. I don't see place where African man come, the doctor say, how much is your bag? He said 23, they put on for scale, the bag was about 30 something kilograms. Yes. Just this last week where I traveled to Cameroon, some Sierra Leonean couple be there for the way. They will be forced for go back out of the line, go move things them out of their bag, for put them for bin. So that way they see me, and I always dress, because I'm such a very proud African person. I always dress me, even when I be there for airport for travel to Cameroon, I be wearing my African clothes. I be wearing my African attire clothes I buy for Mokolo Market for Yaoundé here, or now for Douala Hausa, I can't remember. Okay, so they see me, they recognize me, say I be African. He approach me, he tell me, say, he start talk Creole, because me I understand a bit of Creole. I even understand a little bit of Mende when I Sierra Leonean country talk, because I grew up with Sierra Leoneans. He talk for me, say, he say my brother, how the body? I said, body they fine, how for you? He said, fine. Then I immediately recognize him as Sierra Leoneans, because not only Sierra Leoneans, a Greek person like that, I say, how body or how the body. So, and then I thought, say, you come on a salon. He said, yes, na salon will come out. Just how you come out. I thought, say, I come on a Cameroon. And then now we start talking. He talks, say, my brother, now, who's for London you stay? I said, stay now for, I didn't even stay for London, so I stay up north. He said, no. I said, why? He said, no, now because, say, you know, we get excess luggage. We think, say, if you stay now for London, if we give you the things and you take and go house. And then when they come back from their holiday, they'll call me and collect them. I said, no, I don't live in London. Don't mind the mobile at the run. I live a few minutes drive away from London, not actually in London. And I know you'd be interested because me too, I've traveled out of the country as well. So now you see that kind of situation where if they would just go buy the things, the way they would move them out of their luggage, out of their bag, for throw away them for airport, it'd be worth more than the 14, 15 pounds. Where they for just go whether for Tesco, for Argos, go for Walmart or any company, go buy scale. Scale now about 12 or 15 pounds. When are less than 10,000 francs for UK. Just buy one, can't keep them for your house. Use them every day, put them for your bathroom on the floor. Stand on it every day, you know how much you weigh. There where you want to go you out of the country or whatever, you put your back on top, you weigh them and you can't go airport. So you know exactly which way you will meet up and for airport, make catch you by surprise. So now this now a constant thing with African people then. Say that they always carry excess luggage go for airport. Now a constant thing when African person want travel, they like say one carry person want come out for Douala go for Paris or for London. They like say one carry the whole of Cameroon go with them. Person want come out for London come for Cameroon. They like say one for carry the whole of England come with them. People I know people the way they come out from UK they come for Cameroon they carry plus sugar. I kid you not. They carry sugar, because Cameroon don't get sugar. Where they get the organic, authentic, the most beautiful version. People that buy all kind of useless thing there. My own family member, they tell me say countryman, they say I beg, I need mobile phone. I thought say okay fine. So I actually go me for Amazon and eBay and I go to the Carphone warehouse for UK on their website and I research. So I look at the kind of person he live, how much they earn, because if you've been a person where your job you earn about 50,000-60,000 francs a month for your job, you fit afford for use phone when about 40,000-50,000 francs. You know, could be a person where for your job, for your career, you earn 100,000-200,000 francs a month, and then you expect for the use phone when about 1 million francs a month. No, the phone where you use them supposed to be about 1 month. It should not be more than 1 month of your annual salary. So me I say so also this my peripheral way it asked me say my buy phone. Now it work for this one so place. It earn about 150,000 francs. So I go for I convert 150,000 francs to pound sterling, and as I see the kind of phone way, I feel buy for you for about 200 pounds. And I say okay, I feel buy this kind of phone for 200 pounds, he'll appreciate it. Now he level that. I not go buy the kind of phone I use, like this one, a Note 9, which is about 400,000-500,000 francs for which make it go buy it yourself. Me I feel afford that kind of phone because it's about the kind of salary I make. Now the kind of phone that way me I feel hold on. Okay, a girl phone will be worth about 1 million francs because I make more than that a month. So yes, so now I don't know say okay the phone fee cost about that amount of money. Guess what? I bring you 150,000 francs cash. Why? Because if you buy the phone where you want time for Cameroon with 150,000 francs, I give you the cash and say they can buy phone. Because they will use that money now for also inject them into the economy inside Cameroon. Maybe person where they import phones them from China, from Japan, from Dubai or whatever, it will get a new customer. Rather than for me to go spend the money for UK, pay taxes then for UK, I give you the money for Yaoundé or for Douala or Wusawede. Then it will go now for person where it is cell phones them for market, go improve your business. That's how I see it. Unless they want a specific type of phone, and that specific type of phone, they don't get them for here. If that specific type of phone, for example, some person will tell me say, if some person tell me say he want the new Galaxy S22 or whatever, which is worth about 1 million francs, and they don't get them for even in the UK, never be out yet, I would say fine, good. You send me the 1 million francs way, I go buy them for you, bring them for you, that's fine. But if they sell the phone inside Cameroon and you probably get them cheaper or about 20,000 francs more expensive, I would rather give you the money maybe you buy them for you because you could inject the money into the Cameroon economy. That's how I see things, and that's how I see them. Okay, so now what's the day before I digress, start begin to talk about other things then. Yes, so now you don't board your aircraft. One of the other things the way you get to consider before you leave your country, now your health. Before you leave your country for Cameroon, it kind of Cameroon side. Obviously, now no say malaria it be prevalent for Cameroon. Una bear with me. I don't know whether una dey hear me, sir. If una dey hear me, una type and send out a comment section because they like say my internet connection it don't disconnect again small. If una dey hear me, una send out for comment section say una dey hear countryman. Okay, so now your health, of course. I remember for 2000 and was it 2017 or 2018, I be there Cameroon and I get malaria. Okay, I go tell una that story a different day. I get malaria, I end up go for hospital for a fulan. I go tell una that story a different time when I go laugh stay tired. And for that Fulan hospital, now one of the dirtiest hospitals I don't ever see I'm in my life. I swear to God. Hospital for village, for some backbending corner village, for Ngoketunja, it better pass the one for Efulan, when not for Yaoundé. Doti, where that hospital be Doti. And then again, so now the doctor insists, say this, so it go administer me, it go give me the malaria medication via injection. I deny me. But the malaria was very serious to the extent where I agreed the injection. They took him. I'll tell you now my malaria situation story. Now a different time. I talk French that day to the extent where when I don't understand, I be forced to talk French. To the extent where doctor tell me say, he say why inject me for my buttocks. You now believe say he inject both sides of the buttocks. He not even chook me one. It reached for a point where I start tell doctor exactly what we get to chook me. I said chuke is see. To the chuke part over there. To va chuke is see. I tell you say you must chook not only for here. You didn't chook any other bending corner. Because I could not stand any more needles then. They put plus drip, all kind of thing then. I am never, ever taking medical care again for any government hospital for Cameroon. Okay, my country, but now because the malaria be pick me. Now, ma tell you something. Now the price that for which when I say I'm on a screen, 3,800 francs. That is all you need for spend for treat yourself of malaria. That's it. When I see which way they on our screen, now the only medication that way me, I don't ever use them since then till today. Now both the anti-malaria prophylaxis and the treatment itself, ma show una. Now in that when you open the pack, now all that way they inside. When I say I'm no, they call them say at queen. Now the adult does that, okay? Now, if you go for the counter for buy at a queen, because it don't happen for me before, and they don't get the adult size for at a queen, ask them if they get the child one. Because the child one now just half the dosage. The child at a queen now 300 by 350 or so. Okay, so ask them, say, me they give you the child one for at queen, and then which way you need for doing and say, wait, you just double the dosage. Okay, just buy 2. So this pack, again now, all you need, both your anti-malaria and the treatment for malaria. Okay, so now it tell you day 1. Okay, day 1, you take these 2 tablets. Day 2, you take these 2 tablets. 24 hours later, day 3, you take these 2 tablets. That's it. Malaria disappear. That's all you need at a queen. Okay? That's all you need. 3,800 francs. Go to a proper pharmacy. Get the original medication. That is all you need. And this medication, it not be available for UK. I don't search them everywhere in the UK. It not be available. But any good, authentic pharmacies for Yaoundé and Douala, you could get them. Even for Bamenda, ask for at a queen. Always get a pack of this in the house if you live in Cameroon. And even you where you can't Cameroon go ever so often, make sure say you buy at least a pack and take with you. Why? Because you need to start take this medication before you leave your country. What if, for example, if you're there for Europe. So as now see the first this tablet, you get that round one and that one. I don't know which is which. You get to read the information because all authentic medication it come with the real with the information leaflet. Okay, read the information leaflet. But one of these ones then now your anti-malaria prophylaxis. Okay, my contributor. One of these one now the anti-malaria prophylaxis take them day 1, day 2, and day 3. That's it. It means that you don't get your prophylaxis. You don't protect yourself from getting malaria when you travel to Cameroon or the sub-Saharan region. Okay, but then if you take both of the tablets, then you treat malaria and treat them. One of them now for prevent malaria. Make you understand that one. 3,800 francs. That's all it takes. Now, time we go for that hospital for a fulan a Fulan General Hospital or whatever. They not only chook me, so they use me like pin cushion, so they force me for the talk French for day. I be forced to go use toilet for day. I say I meet up a rata. The toilet for hospital now pit toilet. I kid you not, pit toilet where you get cockroaches and a rata for day. And then again, when I reach for day now, imagine say I don't go do number 2 business for day, and then toilet paper no day for that toilet. I be forced to wear my trouser and then go back for that hospital ward. Go ask them to give me toilet tissue. For me for go back for go wipe my last. I be like Amber Boy that day. I kid you not, now hospital for Yaoundé. So now one of the things in that way we need for improve on. As they discharge me for that hospital, the first thing I do now say I go for market, go buy big rolls for toilet tissue, can't dash that hospital. Okay, but then again, we'll go by. I survived that experience. From there, I discovered this medication. I never ever go back. So wait the doctor be tell me, well, might tell us small story about why when me I emphasize on this anti-malaria thing is very important, especially for you, Manga Bell, or any other person where one can Cameroon, prepare them. One of the things doctor be tell me say, he no go discharge me because the medication we get to give me, I get to take day 1, day 2, day 3. So I get to stay for hospital for Eflan. That hospital where I don't use toilet one time, just one time where I use the toilet, all things do me for my life. First of all, I be rich for day. I get to fight with some big arata for day. Arata see me, ask me, say, what are you doing here? Do you pay rent? We get to argue. Domo abiti before I even use the pit toilet itself. But then I digressed. So now, the doctor, now some young medical doctor as well, he tell me, say, he get on that day where they don't for put me drip, I deny me for take drip. That way I don't say and say my life they can't end. The malaria don't enter my body, so that's why I shake on top bed. I shake so the bed they shake. Now I talk say okay, chuke see. I say muna chukam. They took drip as I receive drip for that side. So it talks say they get to give me the anti-malaria medication for that side for day 1, and then wait 24 hours for give me the second dose, and then wait 24 hours again for give me the third dose. I tell the doctor say tu es malade. I say now me I be patient, but you are sick in your head. You think say me, I go still there in this hospital in 3 days. I say, I am not going to be in this hospital in 3 days. That one that you are personal to the way you talk. I talk say, even if the malaria want take me, go take me. But I am not going to be in this hospital in 3 days. The minute when me, I think get up of this bed and waka, I am gone. I am gone. I tell you, it is not a joke. So now way the doctor talks say, okay, so we reach a compromise. It talks say, it go inject me for the day 1 dosage for that anti-malaria medication. I tell you, say, but doctor, this medication where they give me, it be special how? Remember, I know if you talk French, so I guess on Gawe, na Anglophone Gatue, it be help me for translator. So I tell say, if this medication exists in the liquid form where if you give me in the drip or if you give me as an injection, then the medication, it must exist in tablet form. So just prescribe me now the one in tablet, make me a swallow them because I don't like me needles. I don't like me for you for the chuchuk me everywhere. He said no, it come only in liquid form. Thief. That doctor na thief, na amber. That doctor na amber. Na exactly the same thing, na quinine. Where they inject me with them. Now exactly the same thing this in tablet form. So now we tell me now say, okay, so we reach a compromise. It say now it could give me the medication for day 1, then monitor my Manga Bell say, Igwe, your French is very perfect. Yes, my French is very perfect. When me I talk French for year, all man go understand them, especially the Anglophone people them. They go understand my French. Like time I go for that that place for market for Yaoundé, for go buy the toilet tissue, for can't dash them for the hospital. How you think say me I be talk? I talk for French. I tell them, donnez-moi le papier. They say le papier c'est quoi? Le papier, on va wiper mon botox. That's why I talk and they give me le papier where I go wiper mon botox. Simple. Perfect French. I don't know what you when I talk about. But now I converse me for French. Everywhere I go for Yaoundé. Perfect French. So as I be talk, the doctor tell me now, he prescribed me, say, I tell you, say, we'll get a beautiful hospital for Bamenda where it be bigger and it be better than that Efulan district hospital. So I will continue my treatment for Yaoundé. So it's okay, fine. It will write me my medication so that prescription, so it will give me the first dose and then write the information, put down for my consultation card or whatever, some book where we ask you to go buy and write something for inside. I take the book restaurant for Corner Road. Here I write all those things. Yannick Esomba, now you tell me say first. You think I learned first, now after I don't buy the toilet tissue, yeah. Anyways, like we talk. So as he write all that information, tell me now, say, go for when I reach Bamenda, I give that document for the doctor. The doctor would then know wait for how to continue with my treatment. So I accept now the compromise that I will get them. So now I come up for a Fulana, I come for Bamenda because I know first like me around there. I always them in for Bamenda whenever I've done holiday for Cameroon. So as I reach Bamenda now, I pass go for a general hospital, go tell them the situation. The doctor look and the doctor for Bamenda. He tell me say, how do you feel? I feel great. But it talks about you need to finish the course of the medication. So what we need to do now, go for the pharmacist. Now the medical doctor for Bamenda General Hospital now tell me say, ma go ask for this thing. I take the full dosage. Say because I don't really take the one, I just take the 2 and the 3 only. Now all that, now all the treatment that I need them. I ask the doctor, I say you don't say. He say I say. I say you're kidding me. He say I'm not kidding. I say you're pulling my leg. He say I'm not pulling. And then they say, then why was he choking me? Why did he choke me? Why? I mean, I swear to God, that francophone doctor for Yaoundé, na Amber, 100%, that man hate me. Na Amber. But anyways, no forget, buy this, always keep them. I get about 6 of these packs them, okay? So I take them. Malaria didn't touch me anymore. Me and malaria will pass outside. So anyways, as I've been talking my confidence. So when you board your flight, always look on your boarding pass as well, because they will write your flight number, they will write the airline, they will write your gate number. Most of the time, maybe not all time, they will tell you your gate number. If they don't write your gate number, the aircraft, the day for day they wait you, then look on the computer screens at the airports. Then they will tell you on the computer screen which gate you could collect, where you could go catch your flight. And then they'll obviously tell you flight X, Y, and Z. Now, why do I need to know your flight number? For example, flight 1978, 1978, Turkish Airlines, for instance, TK 1978 or whatever, from Douala Smalen to Istanbul, and then you could then maybe transit, because if you take Turkish Airlines, you could transit for Istanbul. If you take Air France, you transit for Paris. If you take Swiss Air back in the days, you transit for Zurich. And if you travel via Essen Brussels, obviously you transit too for Brussels. So because you don't get direct flights to the UK from Cameroon to the UK, you must transit. So now why that way I always transit now? When you transit, especially now when you fly to the United States and to the American subcontinent, you must transit. Always make sure say you understand say the time where they write time on that boarding pass is always local. What do I mean? If the talk say your flight it go depart in Smalen Airport at 23:20, for instance. It means it depends Smalen no be so. It means say that time where they write now for them, now the time from Smalen, now the local time from Smalen for Yaoundé, 23:20. Now, if they tell you say the flight it go land for Paris at 0415. Because the flight go then now for Paris at that time, that 0415 now time for Paris. No be time for Yaoundé. Now the talk now say your next flight it depart from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport at maybe 0630 to London. So now you know that 0630 now time for Paris, because the flight it depart now Paris. So now the talk say it go land for London at 0655. Now, because the land of London, that time now the right time, now time for London. Does that make sense? So the time where the right time for your boarding pass, now always local time. When, wherever the event will happen, now the time that way the right time for the. So if you get a watch for someone una get the olden day kind watch then, this one now a digital watch, now smart watch, we mean say this watch it get GPS, it get calculator, it get mobile phone, it get everything built in. Even my WhatsApp messages that appear for this phone. So now this phone, because it gets GPS, the phone it update time automatically. So the phone knows that there for Cameroon, it will give me a Cameroon time. When the phone it recognizes me at dinner for Istanbul, it will give me time for Istanbul, the local time. When the phone it knows that there for Paris, it will give me the time for Paris. But still, no ever rely on your phone, because if you change the setting for that phone for tell you a different time. And I waited this way, it do me, I almost missed my flight, my transit flight from Paris to London last week. I mean from Paris to Nsmalen. So what will happen? I say, make sure say the time where you follow am at the time for that airport where you day in. So when they talk say your flight they depart from Paris at 1:30 for depart Paris to Yaoundé. No, so that 1:30 now Paris time. So no use your watch, no use your mobile phone. Use now the watch or the clocks the way the day at the airport. Now what that will sway me, because every airport get watches and clocks and time on the computer display screens and everything else. They display the time for local time, for time inside. So if you're there, for example, you're there for Hong Kong, they could display Hong Kong time. If you're there for Istanbul, they could display Istanbul time. If you're there for Paris, they display Paris time. Then from London, they'll display GMT. So make sure say you follow at the time of that airport where you day in. Okay? So no, because when you come out, for example, London, it would be maybe 1 or 2 hours ahead or behind Paris. So now you come out for London, you reach for Paris, and if you still use your watch for London, then you think say you get 1 hour time when no time don't reach now. You're supposed to be for your departure gate now, but your watch is still the 1 hour behind because you're still following a London time. No. So make sure that you're following at the time for that airport we're there in. I hope that one be clear. Because the world is there in different time zones. I hope say that one it be clear my contribution. So that's that. So now obviously communication it be very, very important. Make sure say you always carry money, foreign currency. If you fly from London to Cameroon, make sure say you always get even at 25,000-30,000 francs CFA cash for your wallet. I always get as a matter of fact, when I bear with me 1 second, I'm show you. Yeah. Now my wallet this, and if I look for my wallet, okay, I don't want to show na thing where we no really need for Siam. Okay, I don't want to show na thing where we no need for Siam. If I look for my wallet, go into what's where my money day, you will see I get obviously Cameroon currency. Even when I did for UK, I get Cameroon currency at least 25,000 francs in my wallet. It's just day because I know that I enter Cameroon any day, anytime. When I say I also get British pounds sterling. Okay, I get American currency. At least just about 25, 30 US dollars, right? And then I get, because I go Caribbean often, I get about 20. They were not guilders. Now wait, I know if you first even know me the currency for that one. South African 20 rand, just small kind 10. This one $10 Barbados currency, and 20 pounds because I travel around the Caribbean often. This kind of small kind of money where you get, I'm not even plenty money, 20 rand, 20 Caribbean dollars or whatever. Now, just in case you need to make a phone call. Simple thing. I remember one time around 2017, I don't already check, I go for in Douala. Was it Douala? Yes, it was Douala International Airport. So, as I did Douala International Airport, I will travel to London. And so obviously when I know say for that airport, was it Douala or Nsmalen, one of those, for the airport they need to allow people them for enter through the airport unless they get a visa and they travel, so you don't just enter the airport willy-nilly. So now my family members can't leave me, and then I don't really go in for check-in, and my family member I don't really turn them back. I don't really empty my pocket. I give them everything, all my pocket change, all my coins, and everything I will get them on me. I don't empty my pockets. I give my family members them. We don't do our goodbyes, hugs, and tell the last jokes. And then they turn around, they enter the motor, they start drive off, and then me I go in for go check in. Now, when I reach for the Douala airport, we get a policy at that time where they will tax every person where they travel out to Douala airport, and it's been a legal tax because it will be stipulated by the state. So every person will be travel through that airport, we get to pay 10,000 francs at check-in, and you get a receipt and everything. So when I reach for that one, it be catch me off guard by surprise, and I know it get me. Luckily for me, I always get at least 10 or 20,000 francs Cameroon CFA francs, because I know say I will make this journey back to Cameroon in the next few months, so I will spend it anyways. So that's what happened. So luckily for me, I will get that 10,000-20,000 francs from my wallet. So I just move and pay. So now another kind of thing they make, and people they reach for them now, they be stranded, they be stuck. So make sure you always get money for your handway. If you bad now how, if you even pay some person, if you put down for machine use and for call person, make sure the person where they can pick you up at the other end, they get good, decent communication with you, so that they know when, if anything happens for your flight, if your flight take off on time, they need to know. If your flight be delayed, they need to know. Okay, they need to know person where they can't pick you up from airport. Make sure you keep the communication flowing. No, in 1970s, this way communication will be challenging. Now 2022, this where you get WhatsApp, you get free communication. So some airports even give you free Wi-Fi for like an hour or whatever way if you use them for communicate. Instead of they take selfies and stupid things where they not go benefit you. Use them, use that internet for do something that go benefit you. For example, communication. Communicate with your loved ones. Them tell the ones in back home, say, I've arrived Istanbul, Paris or Brussels safely. Now I'm waiting to catch my next flight onwards to whether you go now for Hong Kong or you go now for United States or whatever. Tell them who's how way to go. And then that is vital. After you don't do your communication part, then if you should not for watch a video or whatever, but make sure so you know who's your gate day, where you're departing from. Me, I never ever miss a flight for my life because of something where me I do wrong, except for 2 weeks ago, where because of coronavirus, I never get the right PCR test. So some countries the way they accept PCR, some one they accept LFT. So make sure say whatever country you travel to, you find out the COVID-19 test where they accept them for that country, okay? And then you do and make sure so you get a certificate. We get your name and your passport number and all of those things in that fit to fly certificate. So now as I talk, yes, where was I? So in the travel now, yes, where was I before I digressed? Yes, before you travel, also, and then you get this situation where people the day for Cameroon, they don't just say this so. Europe is cold. Now so they hear some person don't tell them, say cold for Europe. So you see some person go buy some big Mukuta jacket, wear them for flight where you go for Paris or London for summer. Where at that time we even fly to London hot past Bamenda. And then now so they drag them. When I don't sweat, and then body odor. Body odor is just one of the most disgusting things I contribute them. You need for control your body odor. You be human being. Now nature say you go sweat. And when you sweat, you get enzymes and bacteria the way they go act and they go digest or break down that sweat. And even your dead skin cells, they're inside amongst that sweat. It will generate an odor. It is natural. Say it will generate an odor. So what do you do about that? Do something about that. Buy a deodorant, for heaven's sake. Cameroonians, when I need for buy a deodorant. Some deodorants are doing only 500. Roll on. Just roll them on for your armpit, okay? If you know to buy deodorant, make sure you shower often, maybe twice a day. So now, for a situation where, say for example, your flight, it will leave Douala at say 6 p.m. Make sure say you there for that airport at the very latest 2:30 p.m. What am I saying? If you leave at 6 p.m., sorry. If you leave at 6 p.m., make sure you're there for that at 3:30 p.m. Give yourself like 2.5 hours. Even the airports, they advise you for give yourself 2 hours before the departure of your flight. Arrive at the airport at least 2 hours before the departure. I say give yourself 2.5 hours, okay? So if you know say traffic go there for Bonaberry Bridge, so guess what? Book a hotel closer to the airport and stay the night there. Or leave your house, if your flight day at 6 p.m., leave your house at what? 2 p.m., 1 p.m., why not? Start go. So that if traffic bad now, how jump on top of car begin go and then back to come later. You understand? Because always will be important. I say make you the human being you catch the flight. At the top, because this thing it don't affect me, especially time when they be still fix that road, that Bonaberry Bridge. You know, they be still construct them when they were still working on it. Traffic was hell. It take me 2 hours for come on for rail. When I know rail for Bonaberry, for go reach for Douala International Airport, more than 2 hours. So make sure say you leave your house in more than good enough time. Yeah, so check out from Creditor say they say use na bicarbonate or whatever, it kills the armpit odor. Do something, I beg una, because you smell. For you, it be natural. Maybe even for people that way they be close to you, it be okay. But for a perfect stranger, where una jam na for airport or na jam na on top of kada or taxi or whatever, that smell is very, very offensive. Your body odor. I don't want to know how you smell. Trust me, please. Now, why that way you decide continue to work for taxi now for Yaoundé? I take me na depot outside. Even for that depot, you still enter, you smell taxi money body odor, very pungent, and it's very disgusting. Even when you shower, and then if you overwear, come and close, and you still sweat. So free yourself so that even when you sweat, and when you sweat, change the shirt. Change them so that you go reduce that odor. Wear something where you feel even at the if you don't sweat for that clothes, you feel move them, put them down, wear another one, you never sweat on top, continue your day. Okay? So me, if I see and say I go be stuck in traffic, I go to sweat by the time I reach for airport, I go wear some small t-shirt. Time I reach for airport, I move the t-shirt fold and put them for my back, and then wear now something where it be fresh, where I could then walk onto the aircraft with. The aircraft will be air conditioned. The temperature on the aircraft will be regulated for the one way it will be normal for ordinary human being. If it be a little bit slightly chillier than you like, they will provide you with a small blanket where if you cover yourself, or just carry a small pullover or something. No carry winter jacket, especially when you go to Europe for summer. You walk a suffer for what? Put the winter jacket for back. Yes, Europe cold for winter, but for summer a hot past Bamenda. I almost say Douala, I almost talk to Douala, but no place, no hot past Douala, no place. Zero, no hot past Douala. Douala now literally hell when it comes to hot. So yes, that's what you do. So now just some simple tips and that simple advice and that things the way if you do travel light as well. Give yourself enough time. Make sure say you enjoy traveling. It is actually really fun. Wear your bag before you come off a house. Okay, check your passport before you come off a house. Make sure you get them. Make sure you get your visa. Make sure you get your PCR test. Make sure you get your yellow fever vaccination. Make sure you don't take your anti-malaria prophylaxis or anti-malaria medication. Okay, make sure all those basic things that they be done. Also, make sure you carry pen. You carry a pen. Like I show you now this document, no be so, where they give me for airport for Antigua and Barbuda. For Cameroon, when you arrive Cameroon, you get to fill one of these in as well. When you arrive for UK, you need to fill one in, you do one electronically before you even board, okay? You do a passenger locator form online. Right. For Cameroon, when I arrive, they give me this kind of form, a small form for film, but they don't give me pen. So just always, I mean, every intellectual, every educated person should always have a pen anyways. You should just always have a pen, a ballpoint pen. Pen they cheap. If you get pen for 25 francs, if you buy a how work out pencil, you should always have a pen or pencil. Just always carry one. Because time will reach where you reach some place that also fill this form and then you start a back pen or whatever. Okay? So just always travel with a pen. Now one or two tips on that as well. So for when I be right when I answers them, I be asked this question, say, where would you like to travel to and why? So some when I believe answers them, I be get some problem with my network, so I know if you see the answers they wanna begin. So I'll just read one or two comments they wanna, some people they don't leave them. So we get Ashu, Didi, Nanje. It says, so you did pay here. I didn't pay. I always didn't pay. Pay now you get out. I show you how to enjoy pay. Na pay that no. Na chukuchuku beep this. My chop they can't call self. Na chukuchuku beep with better cocoa where they don't cook them. Very delicious. As I start this live broadcast, I begin tell you. Plenty bushfallers the day where they come for Cameroon, they poison them and those kind of things. Now, and then they chop me for restaurant. I chop this kind delicious. So when I want to make I don't start chop. Now put them on corner. I don't want choke. I chop now this kind of delicious homemade food prepared, just for me, by my family, by my loved ones. Okay. So people they come. They work at show money. They call themselves bushfallers. They go for Dubai, come back after 2 years with American accents. I know those kind of idiots. They work at shows that they get. Now those kind of people, they poison them. Plenty. And then, the one day they come, can't go, they work at follow, 17, 19, 20-year-old picking them. they put belly for small get them. Imagine say you don't brain some of your small jacka, some of your small guy, so they don't fall. So they don't start make plan. Maybe you hustle, maybe you be student, or maybe you don't just get your first job or whatever, you make your small 80,000 francs a month. You don't say I'm sitting got two now some fine picking way when I feel make a life together with. You want to say I'm some so-called bushfall come off on side in Dubai, Italy, or some bedding corner like that. It can't stay for pay for 2 weeks. It won't go. It don't choke belly. For that young guy where you be looking and say maybe you get future with. How would you feel? How would you feel about a situation like that? Now those kind of things the way they make them, a lot of Cameroonians and now they get serious hatred for people the way they call themselves bushfallers. Me, I not be one of them. Me, I've done Europe long before when I even invent that thing say bushfaller. Now, as I been talk, before, at the start of this presentation, I'll be asking her this question, okay? I just come say me with Toriwe. So I'll be asking her this question, my computer. I write them on the screen. Say, una always talks about when I want go bush, when I want fall bush, or whatever. So when I write them for comment section, say, where do you want to go to? And write the question, and the other question are why? Why do you want to go there? You want to go now for Italy? Why? You want to go now for Dubai? Why? Why do you want to go there? Now, how me I understand, say, what is a bushfaller? Wait till me I understand and say, as they talk, my connection don't cut again on the how. Chakabun Kradai talk say use baking soda and lemon. It go freshen your armpits and make them, get body odor. Fantastic. When I continue begin teach by contribute them so because now a serious pandemic for Cameroon, that body odor thing, it be very offensive. Okay, as I be the talk. So my interpretation, the way I understand this issue about falling bush, now say, especially for our ancestors, the way they've been a hunter gatherers, then where they be survive on cultivating the farms and stuff like that. They be know say when person they go bush, for example, if you're a hunter or if you go bush, they know say you go for bush for go hunting. When you come back, you can will wait like chuku beep, or you go down kill one an elephant, hippopotamus, monkey, or whatever, where the whole village it go chop. When women they go for bush, they go for go do it to go harvest, or at least go for go plant or for go weed. At the time where the one they come back, even if we're not going to go plant to go wheat farm, when I will come back with granite, when I will come back with monkey collar, when I will come back with collar, when I will come back with something where the villagers and the family they go enjoy. So whenever person they talk say I go bush, it always give we once the way we should done for house. The idea say you go bring something for make we chop. If you go bush because you go hunt, you go bring animal where you don't kill them, we go chop meat. If you go bush because you go fishing, it means that we'll chop fish when you return. If you fall bush because you go harvest, means that we will chop whether not even monkey collar when you arrive back. So this idea for falling bush is a good connotation where it means that the person it go bring something for chop. So now why that I talk say when person talk say you want go bush, you want to go Dubai. Explain for me why you want to go for there. What to be your objective? What to be your prime objective when you go for there? You need to have one. When Europeans they become for Africa, they become the prime objective. They become for thief. They become for rape. They become for plunder. Okay, for go build their own economies to the extent where when they don't take all our animals from elephants to hippopotamuses, they put them in zoos. They do kind of things them for enrich themselves and their culture. Okay, they come to the extent where they can thief plus human beings, enslave them for dig roads, build bridges, hospitals, and build Europe for the way we want to see them today and the United States. Okay, they become for Africa with a purpose, for can thief, for can harvest, for them now they are bush that way they will fall to, for go bring something back home where their country people they go enjoy from. Now the reverse is true for we Africans then. When African people they now they travel abroad, they instead take from Africa for go enrich Europe. Okay? You did take experience, you did take education, you did take manual labor for go give them to Europeans and other ones them. So now why did I ask myself, why are you going there? If you tell me, say, I did go Europe because say I want to go study for become a dentist, because I don't see and say people from my village they need dental care, or because I don't see and say so I want to come open a pharmacy for make sure say I provide good, decent, high quality medication where come out authentic medication from the best pharmacies in the world. I will deliver them to my people then from for Bui or from Kokatunja or from Momo or whatever. Fantastic idea. So go study pharmacy, get connections there with the pharmaceutical companies there, bring the pharmaceutical companies there invest in your community. If you talk to go for Europe, go become a gynecologist because say plenty of women they suffer for born, they don't feel born properly, they get medical conditions and complications at delivery where they complicate things. I want to go study gynecology for make sure say no woman not ever die in childbirth again. Fantastic. It means that you fall bush. And when you come back now, you come back with something for can help your people. The reverse is true now with Africans. If you look at every single person where they call themselves Ambazonia terrorists, all those who them, every single one of them, even just for visit Cameroon as mere the visit so, and they can't inject money. My tell you something about conspiracy. Every time when me I land for Cameroon, when me I enter Cameroon, I inject no less than 3 million francs into the Cameroonian economy. Believe it or not, just the chop where the chop, accommodation, transportation, feeding, and all of those things. I inject that money into the economy. I prefer for holiday now because I for take a holiday like the one where I go for the Caribbean, just go and sit by the pool or by the beaches, eat nice food, go to nice seafood restaurants and eat lobsters, oysters, and shrimps and prawns and scallops, squid, all those things. Yes, if I I know if you go holiday for South Africa and then come go holiday for Ghana and then come go holiday for Nigeria and then come go holiday for Cameroon, because all of those countries I will probably get almost the same kind of holiday. So yeah, I'll go for Caribbean holiday maybe 2-3 years. After 2-3 years, but then every year I did Cameroon. Every year. So that's the deal with my contributing. If you want for can't rest, but you inject money. The hotels that I stay in, 50,000 here a night. If I stay for a hotel with cheap, now 30,000 francs. One, because I can afford it, and two, I can afford it because I don't plan them. I don't tie my belt. I don't work for X number of months or maybe a year, sir. Prepare myself. Now not time now for can't rest, for can't holiday. I don't come for Bolo. I can't rest. There's the day when I woke up for Yaoundé, for Douala where day. I woke up for morning time. So just after I woke up for bed, I go do 10 or 15 press ups or whatever. Take a shower, and then can't sit down and just listen to TV or whatever and just talk to family for 6, 7, 8 hours and then go back to sleep because I am resting. This is my rest time. Because when I day abroad for Europe, I don't get the time to do these kind of things. Most of the time, I work. So it's time to take time off just to rest, do nothing but rest, see family and all those things. It be vital. So whenever you think about falling bush, you must get an agenda. You must get a plan. You must tell yourself, say, one, I want to go now to this country. I would like to achieve this and this for X number of years. And when I don't achieve those things, then I would like to invest in Cameroon. I want to bring back that knowledge or whatever, bring back something to return something back to Cameroon. That would be fantastic, my contributor. Even if I get that kind same mentality. Now, why do when I look at those people, then Ayabacho, Sako, Tapang, all of those people, then ask any one of them, say, when was the last time you just visit Cameroon and visit them? Just for see family. Nobody say you can't invest. No. Just visit. For go enjoy your life. Just visit. Yes. They can't. None of them. And then you get the one the way, even before this Ampa thing, if they be pass for Cameroon, now because they get big die. Papa don't die, mommy don't die. They must attend the funeral. And sometimes they can't attend that funeral. So now for fight over property and inheritance. Now why did they run come back for Cameroon? And when they don't run come back for Cameroon at that time now, many of them do not stay. Why do not stay? They get no investments then for their own country. Zero. No investment, no house. They repass even for their own village. Maybe they could stay now for uncle house, brother house, because themselves they don't get them no investment for their own village. So they don't stay for village, for their own village where they come up there. They cannot stay there. They can't. And at the same people they tell now say they want can be una president. People the way they even for put small intercate, even for sponsor one pikin for that village, they never ever sponsor. They don't first sponsor their own family members them before they want begin sponsoring a different man own pikin. Today they don't can't talk saying that they be now una presidents them some kind of nonsense like that. No my country, I just can't say me with Tori. I enjoy my life so my begin chop as I want tell una. Now better bush me that I don't get plenty. If I chop plenty of this vegetable, it first of all give me, it make me at the because I not be used to for the chop all this kind very nice, delicious Africanized dishes them. I need to chop and plenty over for UK. So now so whenever I get the opportunity for chop them, it hamburg me because I don't eat it often. So I dem here now for meat. Now only meat I chop them. This one so for me na brunch because I chop now only small breakfast. Breakfast being a beignet and Ovaltine. Hot puff. No even beignet. We're buying from my way frying for Corner Road. Yeah. And Ovaltine I ordered. Time now for Cameroon, now already 4:45. Now everybody can't show sample down because they don't there for kitchen all morning just preparing chuku beef for me. Massa. Mona make and come on, ma begin sample my chuku beef to go me. Now leave me so.
Hail the Kumkumasa, we the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror, and your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.
Me no man no lie you. Cameroon sweet. Very sweet. If now only no enjoyment, why they enjoy. Ah yeah.